Will Mjolnir and Loritz reincarnate as Thor and Loki once again in Ragnarok? Of course that can happen, if Season 4 of Ragnarok is renewed. As of now, the release date for Season 4 of the adored Netflix series Ragnarok is still unknown. Ragnarok on Netflix has been a highly well-liked series on the surface. Its third season debuted in several areas as top 10. However, Season 3 has already passed. So what about Season 4 of Ragnarok? Does it even take place? Let's find out. Devoted viewers are eagerly awaiting any updates regarding the show's future. Meanwhile, fans can go back and experience the current seasons and immerse themselves in the world of Ragnarok once more. Following the exciting conclusion of Season 3, which marked the series' climactic chapter and dramatic close to the epic battle between gods and giants, the show's writers painstakingly constructed the story to lead to an exciting confrontation between these competing forces, making a fourth season unnecessary. Does that mean the Season 4 of Ragnarok will never happen? For any Netflix series, getting a third season is a significant accomplishment, and Ragnarok has done just that. The grand struggle depicted in Season 3 is a fitting epilogue to the narrative with few opportunities for further development. Unlike other shows that ended suddenly, the writers of Ragnarok had the opportunity to give the story a satisfying sense of closure, meaning that a fourth season was not necessary. The decision to conclude the series with Season 3 demonstrates a purposeful devotion to narrative development and a desire to provide a well-rounded story. The writers made it clear that they thought it was more important to give a satisfying ending than to artificially drag out the plot in order to accommodate more seasons. While the lack of a Season 4 may disappoint fans, they should take comfort in the fact that the show's creators made every effort to provide a compelling and comprehensive story. When fans were ecstatic to learn that Netflix's original new series Ragnarok will be premiering, they immediately sought to associate it with Thor, the God of Thunder from Marvel. Is Ragnarok, the fantasy series on Netflix, related to Thor? The Norwegian series approaches Scandinavian legend with a contemporary twist that's more teen hero in a tiny town than Avengers facing Thanos in outer space, despite the fact that Norse gods play a significant role in both works. The ostensibly peaceful town of Edda in Ragnarok is hiding a mystical secret. A few of its citizens have been endowed with extraordinary abilities. As more of these talented people move into Edda, the town experiences extreme weather events such as intense downpours and uncomfortably warm winters that quickly change the town's natural environment. A surprising young hero with unique skills comes forward to defend his community out of fear for the irreparable harm that the fast-changing climate could cause to the locals. He might be the only thing separating Ragnarok and survival. Ragnarok is portrayed in Norse mythology as the apocalypse, the destruction of the universe and all within it. Its Old Norse meaning, the fate of the gods, implies that not even the mightiest entities in the universe will be spared from the devastation. Thor: Ragnarok, the fifth chapter in Marvel's action-packed Phase 3, went deeper into the idea. In the movie, Thor and his adopted brother Loki have to engage in a deadly fight over Asgard with their long-lost sister Hela, the goddess of death. The renowned fire demon Surtur causes their homeworld to physically collapse as a result of their confrontation. Ragnarok might make references to some of the same mythology as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Norwegian Netflix series Ragnarok is approaching mythology from a more calm, high school perspective. Marvel's Thor and Netflix's Ragnarok differ greatly in a few important aspects. What do you think they are, and how do you think the audience can make that difference out easily? Thor is a fully fledged adult in Thor Ragnarok, and his only concern is stopping Hela and rescuing Asgardian citizens. Mjolnir, portrayed by David Stakston as the main character in Ragnarok, must deal with high school drama. He begins his first year of high school as the new guy in town. He notices a girl named Gry, but soon finds out that Fjord, the popular boy at school, also has feelings for her. Mjolnir even has to cope with trying to make friends at the school cafeteria who will tolerate him. The language used in the show and the movie is among the primary acoustic distinctions. The original English language cinematic version of Thor Ragnarok made its theatrical debut. It's surprising to learn that Ragnarok was supposed to be performed in Norwegian. When you view the show for the first time, don't be shocked. The Norse mythology that the show's plot is based on gains drama and intrigue from the extra detail of being presented in Norwegian. Because Thor Ragnarok is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, other superheroes, like Doctor Strange, may appear in the narrative. Additionally, we saw Thor and Loki use the Bifrost Bridge to jump between Earth and Asgard in the first movie. Additionally, Thor made jumps from Asgard to Sakaar. There are no such things as other worlds in Ragnarok. The audience was only provided with specific details about the show's legendary universe through its plot. Planets or other dimensions were never mentioned in the plot. The only character in the program that resembles a superhero is the Norse deity Thor. It can easily be made out that Ragnarok is in no way related to Thor from the MCU. Although a lot of viewers were curious about the identities of the gods in Netflix's Ragnarok, the show ultimately focused on something quite different. Rather, it preserved its themes of coming of age by reinterpreting Norse mythology. What similarities exist between Mjolnir's Seer of Ragnarok on Netflix and Thor of the classic Norse mythology? Praised as the thunder god and defender of mankind, Thor was historically credited with putting an end to Ragnarok and the world's serpent, allowing both the planet and humanity to experience rebirth. Mjolnir, the formidable reincarnation of Thor, possesses superhuman strength, speed, agility, and the ability to control the elements. He is also possibly the only person capable of lifting and wielding Mjolnir. Like Thor, Mjolnir is incredibly kind and protective of the people he loves, and he exhibits bravery and strength even in the most dreadful circumstances. But the quality that unites Mjolnir most with Thor is his sense of righteousness, which serves as the central theme of his identity problem during Ragnarok. Mjolnir was naturally torn about his place in the greater scheme of things, broken by the weight of the truth of his brother's true character. The fact that Mjolnir is named after Thor's son, Mjolnir, who was the offspring of Thora and the giant Jarl, is particularly noteworthy. This is reflected in the bizarre scene where Mjolnir and Saxa engage in sexual relations. Mjolnir is also overcome with intense guilt after unintentionally killing Vidar during a quarrel, which is exacerbated by Loratus' refusal to pardon his brother. By the time the series ended, Mjolnir appeared to have internalized the whole plot, giving the comic book Thor stories a life of its own, at least in his head. Both Mjolnir and Thor proved to be heroes when they decided to stop Ragnarok by accepting peace. Many people believe Greta Thunberg had found the ideal ally for a crusade against large companies when Ragnarok was launched. Mjolnir was the talk of the town. Many claim that because he is now the second coming of Thor, he will destroy the corporations who are recklessly damaging the environment and ruining the planet. Is Ragnarok the call to action against environmental pollution? Ragnarok, named after a Norse mythological apocalyptic event in which gods are killed, the world is flooded, and the planet is reborn fresh and anew, quickly sets Mjolnir up against the Jutil family, who not only symbolize other Norse mythological figures but also represent the 1% as well as corporate misconduct, as they are Norway's fifth wealthiest family. One eye-raising toilet incident soon establishes that they're not your typical family, and Mjolnir quickly realizes they're being duped. Despite Ragnarok's otherworldly elements, the earthly fight is what really stands out. The most overt TV show that has ever called for action against corporate pollution is Ragnarok. With the exception of the statuesque and attractive Jutil teens who also attend Mjolnir's high school, the teens in the series are vocal about their disapproval of Jutil and look into cases of cancer in the community linked to Jutil's release of multisyllabic chemicals into the water, melting ice, and mutant fish. It makes the supernatural elements of the show seem like icing on top of a genuinely compelling series about activists calling attention to wrongdoing by businesses. You could think of Ragnarok as a show that addresses pollution and environmental destruction, given the message it is trying to convey to its viewers. Do you think a spin-off of Ragnarok would be better instead of continuing the story in season 4? Do share your views on this in the comment section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye.